Hello, street photographers. This is Charlie Kirk from the Eric Kim blog. Over to Eric, who's going to interview Mattei.
All right. So here with my buddy Mattei, just came in from Switzerland. So for the viewers out there, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. Well, my name's Mattei. I'm 22 years old. I'm a med student, and I've been taking photos for the past 2 years.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what initially interested you about photography, and perhaps how you got more into the subgenre of street photography, because of course it's for myself, I started off doing landscapes, portraits, babies, this and that, and discovering that I enjoy street photography took me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I didn't really expect it. I started photography because I wanted to travel for like a year. So I picked up a camera and I tried maybe a day to take pictures of temples, and I was bored right after that. So I just realized it wasn't for me, and that I just needed to go quicker, just like grab instants rather than places and maybe people. So I mean, just gone from there. It's just what I like to do. So I didn't really ask questions. Then I found out like other stuff. People do it. I'm normal. I'm not.
You're not like this weirdo just taking.
Yeah, I mean, first workshop, I was expecting it to be like an AA meeting, where it's just like, I like to take pictures of strangers, and but like it felt weird at first, but got normal pretty quickly.
Well, let's go back a little bit. So you went to my workshop in downtown Los Angeles about last year, and tell us the first experience coming to Los Angeles and doing some more shooting, meeting other street photographers and such.
Well, that was pretty amazing because I mean, I knew nobody else who did anything of the sort. I mean, I know the masters. I know their work. Didn't talk to any other photographers who knew how to do that, and any of my friends who had cameras who were doing landscapes and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that was just like it opened my eyes, because I just realized that there are other people that with whom you can talk, with whom you can learn from, you can get critique, and I mean, that was just so much fun that from there it just like was the catalyst. We just went from there.
And so you met all these other street photographers in Los Angeles. Have you been able to hook up with the more street photographers in Switzerland, where you're from, or specifically you live in Geneva, right?
Yeah, I live in Geneva. I mean, Switzerland's a peculiar country. I mean,
yes.
Seriously, we're so small, and yet we speak 4 different languages. So I mean, already that is quite difficult. I mean, I went to a workshop by Thomas Leutard. Got to meet some people there, but turned out that it was more of an introduction to street photography. So people who were curious about photography, and they all spoke German. So,
but what languages do you speak?
I mean, I do speak German, just really poorly.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really enjoy that. But in Geneva, I started a Flickr group, and now we're about 20.
Oh,
and
that's
yeah,
really good.
it's coming along. It took time, and we actually had our first meetup not too long ago.
Oh, that's
great. Well, would have been better if anybody showed up. Turned out nobody could come at the last minute. But next time will be better. I mean, everybody's really motivated. It's just that really.
So who are the street photographers in Geneva specifically, or maybe Switzerland at large, who are interested in street photography, or
I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is Alison McCauley. She's she's originally British, but lives in Geneva, studied there and everything. She's extremely talented, and like I've been now following her work for a bit more than a year, and just seeing her, I'm getting more and more excited just seeing her work. So that's one of the big ones. Another one from our group who's really a guy who's pushing the limits. He's perhaps not as experienced as Alison, but he's good as well. His nickname on Flickr is Il Tubo. Recommend adding.
What's his real name?
No, Nico. I don't know his last name.
Okay.
But, yeah.
And so you love street photography. You're passionate about it. How important is it for you to be part of a larger community, or being able to meet other photographers? Maybe also some of the differences between online interaction versus real life interaction, face to face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really passionate about meeting other people and talking about it, because I mean, there's just so much you can get through the internet. I mean, just like reading Flickr comments or threads, you get stuff out of it, but it's just meeting other people, sharing that passion that really gets around. But yeah, so for me, it was really important to see other people. And like street photography is like really difficult. It's so difficult. You'll get like me. My last 13 rolls, I didn't get a single shot I liked. So like whenever you're feeling down and out about that, just meeting other people just gets you.
Okay,
Juice
so
to back up.
so you're shooting film.
Yeah.
So why don't you bring over the cameras you brought for your trip? And
Right. So for Istanbul, I brought 2 cameras. The M6 with 28 Elmerit. Really nice setup. It's probably the cheapest setup you can get from Leica, but it's perfect. I mean, I have nothing to say about it. That's wrong. And a personal favorite of mine, the XA2 with
bring it close to the camera. So show us what's so unique about the camera, how to use it, or.
I mean, what's really cool about it is that it's ridiculously small.
Okay.
So like, if you're a busy person at work or whatever, I mean, it fits in any pocket. So I mean,
So let's just compare that to the size of a, let's say a wallet. So
it's smaller than a wallet, perhaps just as thick.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really perfect with that. And flash is automatic. If you could force flash or stuff like that, it'd be pretty much perfect. But
and then so turn it off and turn it. So how do you turn it on? So it's quite unique.
like,
Bring it close to the camera.
So yeah, Charlie just said it was like James Bond, and it is kind of a spy microfilm kind of a thing. So yeah, but it's really fun.
And it's actually a rangefinder camera.
No, not that one. That one is range focus.
Oh, range focus.
But the XA1 is rangefinder.
Oh, okay.
I actually bought the XA1 at first because I wanted to try out the rangefinder mechanism. Couldn't see anything through it, so I bought the XA2.
Okay. So how do you focus this thing? Show it to the camera.
So basically, there are just three setups. It's either portrait, which is from 1.2 meters to 2 meters.
Yes.
Then it's 2 to 6 meters, and then it's 6 and onwards at infinity.
So you have those little icons on the side.
Yeah.
That's quite cute.
Really touristy, but like whenever you have to like I've used this as a gateway drug for like friends to get them interested, just taking pictures and because like people are really curious about film and just like why do you take pictures if you can't see them or share them immediately, and like I don't want to spend my parties just showing my pictures to people, so I just give them those cameras. And
the viewfinder is actually quite nice and bright too. I wonder if you could actually see it through the webcam.
Your hand's blocking it, but
somewhat. It's pretty nice. And so did you initially, when you got interested in street photography, did you start in film or you start in digital? Or?
No, I started digital. I mean, you got to learn with digital. I mean, the instant feedback's just, I mean, without it, you can't. It's really difficult to learn. So yeah, I mean, I started with digital, and then at one point, I got bored of showing my pictures to people during parties. Like they'd be curious, and I hate charting stuff, and so from then I decided to go film because you just take pictures because you want to, not because you want to see it.
And I've been looking at some of your work, and you've been experimenting a lot with black and white, shooting color, double exposures, different types of places, shooting on the street, shooting at parties. And so I guess what are some of the difficulties you've been facing in terms of finding your unique voice or your style, and maybe how you've been able to overcome that a little bit the last few months?
Well, I mean, I've definitely been influenced by the locale. I mean, when I'm shooting in Geneva, it's just really difficult to get something out of it. Maybe it's like that for everybody in every city, but I do feel that people in London have it better than people in Geneva. So I mean, from then on, you try to just like mix it up, try to find places that are inherently interesting. So, and then from the place, you get the technique.
So what exactly about Geneva do you think might be a little bit more boring or not as photographic as, let's say, London?
Well, the thing is that people are generally wealthy in Geneva, I'd say, but the problem is that they're not in a very demonstrative way, and they expect their privacy. Like they think that, they don't realize that they're being filmed on the streets by like store cameras and all that. They really think that they can be invisible. So like you'll have like big shots walking about, and you won't notice them, and they don't want to be noticed. And when you do notice them, they don't take it kindly.
So have you had any like aggressive altercations or
it's
people telling you off, or is it more that you feel uncomfortable because it's your own hometown?
No, it's just like people don't feel comfortable just like being in the streets. They don't do stuff. They'll be getting from place A to place B, but they won't be emoting. They won't be doing stuff. They won't be just hanging out and just like it's one of those really cities where I mean, you go somewhere because you got something to do, not just because you want to see people or do stuff. And do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for example, one of the difficulties in Los Angeles is nobody drives or nobody walks in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a slightly different thing, really. I think, you know, if you
If you
see pictures from New York or something like that, then, or even here, people are hanging out on the streets, people are showing their emotion on the streets. But it sounds like it's quite an emotionless place, Geneva.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier to get pictures from people you like almost got to know somehow, like people like friends of a friend, and then just like if you can be in somehow, then you can take pictures of them. But just like you don't want necessarily to be taking pictures of your family, but it's just like if not, you
don't get good pictures at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, I reckon couldn't you get cool photos of one project that I really like is Martin Parr did a book titled Luxury, and I think it's also Otto Snoke. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He did a project called Millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it might be a good idea to shoot ridiculously wealthy people in Geneva.
Yeah, I mean I've been doing stuff like that. I tried. Works some of the time. The rest, I mean, they're just security guards everywhere and stuff like that. So that doesn't work too well. But then you try to go to places where there'll be more people like that. Just like maybe nicer restaurants or just like I don't know, just like horseback riding competitions, stuff like that.
Oh, that would be kind of cool, yeah.
Actually, I've been doing more of that, and that's a really fun place to shoot. Like you got animals, people. Usually when there are horses, there are dogs. People stuff their face there.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you also get generally passionate people who feel like excitement and stuff like that, and it's just a really nice place to be.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could work on a project on like the horse track, or I mean, Gildan's done a project similar to that, and I think it'd be really cool.
Talk about horse tracks, Eric.
Oh, when I got detained at the horse track, yeah. Well, did I tell you the story of me getting detained at the horse track?
No.
I was with Charlie and Bellamy in Tokyo, and we're shooting at a racetrack, and I was going around taking photos of people and using a flash, and I got detained for like there's like 3 to 5 Japanese officials that are like, come with us. I'm like, okay. And so they lead me up these stairs into this tiny room. There are like 10 of them sitting around me. And they're like, so are you a spy? Where are you from? This and that. And I'm like, I'm from America. I'm just a tourist. And they're like, what are you from? China? Korea? Where are you from? And I'm like, America. And they just didn't understand that an Asian could be Asian American. And they're like, then I showed them my driver's license. It says California. Yeah. And they look at it, they're like all confused and like, oh, that does look like him. And they put down, they kind of understood. Then they said to me, where are your parents from? And I'm like, does it really matter? Because they're just like curious, I suppose. And I said, yeah, they're from Korea. They're like, oh, okay. And it's like, so you're just a tourist. And at the time I was shooting with my M9. Yeah. And I was concerned because I thought I got an interesting photo from Tokyo at the racetrack. And so they asked me to delete the photo. And I was thinking back in my head, oh, okay, I'm just going to try to play this off. So I had the M9 and I said, it's a film camera. It's an old camera. And they're like, oh, really? So I get in the camera, they're looking in the back. And of course there's an LCD screen in the back. They're like, what's that? It's like, oh, that's where you put the film. I'm like, and then the camera says, yeah, look, this is how you use it, and blah, blah, blah. And they looked at it, they're like, oh, okay. And they just gave it back to me. I was like, oh, I just played it cool that one time. But just don't get detained when you're shooting in Geneva. Yeah. And so.
And what it meant was that neither Bellamy nor I could actually go back to the racetrack again.
Seriously?
Yeah. We were all banned.
Oh, were you guys?
We're just taking pictures?
Yeah, we were all banned.
Were you guys like being really super suspicious?
Or Bellamy and I weren't. No.
There's more to it.
And so so going back to Istanbul. So. You've been to Istanbul before, but you weren't really into photography or street photography.
No, I was like 10 and 15, so.
Yeah, so I guess what are some of your aspirations for the trip? What do you want out in terms photographically, experience, Do you want a Turkish bath?
Well, I remember having a very good experience at the Turkish bath, so those are really nice.
Did it involve a 300-pound Turkish man?
It always does.
Oh,
It always
yeah,
does.
yeah.
No, but like on a more serious note, like I don't know, just like you just have dry spells. So, I mean, I'm just hoping to get out of it. You know, get anything out of it. I didn't look at any books of Istanbul. I didn't look at any photos that have been already taken in place. Just not trying to go with that. I'm trying to go with just an open mind, just like see if I get a feel from it.
Have you seen Alex Webb's Istanbul book?
No, but I have.
Oh, that's good.
I have his
Suffering of Light?
The Suffering of Light, and there are a couple of pictures from Istanbul. But
Yeah.
I tried not to look at them because I like his pictures so much that I know that I just try to do the exact same thing, and I would never achieve the same thing.
So, who are some photographers that recently you've been really admiring, and who've influenced you?
Who've influenced me? Wow, that's.
Or photographers you like, or anything like that.
Yeah, photographers I like. I mean, I get most of my photo stuff from Flickr. So I mean, I do enjoy, of course. I mean, Dirty Harry's a guy who I feel is really pushing it.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, modern day Dali or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like on some level, it's just really cool.
Yes, yes.
I definitely don't get all of his pictures, but the ones that resonate with me, they resonate in a very strong manner. So like, I like pictures that really have that gut feeling.
Push the envelope in terms of what could be
no,
possible.
But if not, there are others like I forget her real name, but Matteï, that's her name on Flickr. She's like she's from South America and has these amazing pictures with like crazy lights.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Oh, we could include a link in the description.
Yeah, she does amazing work. I mean, I follow Alison's work not religiously, but I like it a lot because you do get more from when you know the place.
Does she shoot a lot in Geneva?
She tries she tries to, but just as me, she's having difficulties to.
So where does she shoot then?
I mean, she gets to travel. She gets to do some reportage work.
Oh, okay.
She's going about, but the pictures of Geneva aren't the most typical in the sense that they're not touristy. So you don't, it's not like what I like is seeing stuff that I've never noticed. And she's really good at that. If not, who else? I mean, the Greek photographers are just.
So what? Me and Charlie were actually having a discussion, in that how there's been so many great Greek street photographers out. Why do you think, your opinion, why are there so many talented street photographers in Greece right now?
In my opinion, I haven't really thought of it. I mean, I've asked myself the question, but I didn't come up with anything I could say. I mean, other than the light must be amazing there, probably. So I mean, you do get the initial push. But apart from that, I mean, I guess it's just like a circle, you know, just people influencing each other and just like couldn't tell really why. Don't have an idea. Don't know.
And for this trip, you brought color film Portrait 400.
Portrait 400. Yeah.
Why did you decide to bring color rather than black and white film?
Because I think there'll be light here, whereas there's never light in Geneva. So.
Oh, there's never light in Geneva.
Nah,
it's pretty cloudy and overcast.
It is overcast. I mean, you do get lights, just not as dramatic as here. And I feel if you want to get to the full potential, maybe you should do light. I don't know. I'll see.
Well, it kind of sucks because today it's kind of storming outside.
First day.
The first day here, and then it's storming. Yeah. Well,
but I do want to go out in the rain as well.
Well, the sun seems to be poking through a bit now, so
maybe we'll go out and shoot in a bit. Yeah. Anything? Any last words you want to mention, or people you want to give a shout out to?
People I want to give a shout out to. Sure. I mean, I know Raph will be watching the video. Also, just anybody from Geneva. So just like Iltubo and Nico, Allison, Sebastian, Mark, all these guys. Off the top of my head, I've been forgetting people, but whatever.
Alright.
They're not I'm thinking of them, so yeah.
Alright, cool.
Bye.
Alright, excited to have you.
Thanks, man.
This is gonna be the Istanbul party house. Oh, Charlie's in the corner. So what do you think about the term street hogs, Mattei?
It saves characters on Twitter.
ditch or keep.
Ditch or keep?
Yeah.
I mean, it does serve a purpose. Less characters on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, just like anything, then it's the meaning of the word comes from how people use it. So if you like the meaning, then why?
That's good. That's a very Swiss response. Okay, so yeah, so it's 3:44 and 3:44 p.m. in Istanbul. Hopefully the weather clears out. We'll get some good shooting. And you'll be here for how many days?
I'll be here until Wednesday, so about like 3 nights, 5 days.
3 nights, 5 days?
Well, I mean, if I'm counting today.
Oh, okay. So you have 3 nights, 5 days. Hopefully you'll get some good photos out of Istanbul, and we'll have a good time with me, you, and Charlie.
Sure.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I did the peace sign.
Peace.
Peace.